Narrated by Jabir bin Abdullah. On the day of the battle of Uhud, a man came to the Prophet peace be upon him, and said, "Can you tell me where I will be if I should get martyred?" The Prophet peace be upon him replied, "In paradise." The man threw away some dates he was carrying in his hand, and fought till he was martyred. Narrated by Khabbab bin al-Art. We migrated in the company of Allah's Messenger peace be upon him, seeking Allah's pleasure. So our reward became due and sure with Allah. Some of us have been dead without enjoying anything of their rewards here, and one of them was Mus'ab bin Umar, who was martyred on the day of the battle of Uhud, and did not leave anything except a namarah, means a sheet in which he was shrouded. If we covered his head with it, his feet became naked, and if we covered his feet with it, his head became naked. So the Prophet peace be upon him said to us, "Cover his head with it and put some idkar, a kind of grass, over his feet, or throw idkar over his feet." But some amongst us have got the fruits of their labor ripened, and they are collecting them. Narrated by Anas. His uncle, Anas bin an-Nadr, was absent from the battle of Badr, and he said, "I was absent from the first battle of the Prophet," means Badr battle, "and if Allah should let me participate in a battle with the Prophet, Allah will see how strongly I will fight." So he encountered the day of Uhud battle. The Muslims fled, and he said, "O Allah, I appeal to you to excuse me for what these people, means the Muslims, have done, and I am clear from what the pagans have done." Then he went forward with his sword and met Sa'd bin Mu'adh fleeing, and asked him, "Where are you going, O Sa'd?" "I detect a smell of paradise before Uhud." Then he proceeded on and was martyred. Nobody was able to recognize him till his sister recognized him by a mole on his body or by the tips of his fingers. He had over 80 wounds caused by stabbing, striking, or shooting with arrows. Narrated by Zayd bin Thabit. When we wrote the Holy Quran, I missed one of the verses of Surat al-Ahzab which I used to hear Allah's Messenger peace be upon him reciting. Then we searched for it and found it with Huzaima bin Thabit al-Ansari. The verse was, "Among the believers are men who have been true to their covenant with Allah. Of them, some have fulfilled their obligations to Allah," means they have been killed in Allah's cause, "and some of them are still waiting." Surah 33 verse 23. So we wrote this in its place in the Quran. Narrated by Zayd bin Thabit. When the Prophet peace be upon him set out for the battle of Uhud, some of those who had gone out with him, returned. The companions of the Prophet peace be upon him were divided into two groups. One group said, "We will fight them," means the enemy, and the other group said, "We will not fight them." So there came the divine revelation, "O Muslims! Then what is the matter within you that you are divided into two parties about the hypocrites? Allah has cast them back to disbelief because of what they have earned." Surah 4 verse 88. On that, the Prophet peace be upon him said, "That is Taiba," means the city of Medina, which clears one from one's sins as the fire expels the impurities of silver.